BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The Israeli military has bombed what it says is Hezbollah's central headquarters in Beirut. A series of huge explosions leveled buildings in the southern suburbs of the Lebanese capital. Israeli media reports say the target was the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, but they didn't know whether he was hit. Our correspondent in Beirut, Anna Foster, has this assessment.
He is very much somebody who Israel will have been targeting. However, he is also an elusive figure. When you have Hezbollah rallies, for example, he doesn't ever appear in person. Even though there might be hundreds, thousands of people there, Hassan Nasrallah's speech will be made on a big screen. He hasn't been seen in public for years. Some people questioned whether or not he was even in Beirut. And certainly you would wonder, given the attacks on senior members of Hezbollah over the last week, whether that is a place that Hassan Nasrallah would be at the moment.
The attack in Beirut came shortly after the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave a defiant speech to the UN General Assembly in New York. He said Israel was fighting for its life and winning, and he once again blamed Iran for both the conflicts in Lebanon and Gaza. At least 33 people have been killed in the United States after Hurricane Helene stormed ashore in Florida in the southeast of the country. Helene has been downgraded to a tropical depression, but Georgia and the Carolinas are still under flood alerts. Dave Malkoff from CBS News reported from Atlanta, Georgia, standing in water up to his waist.
Where the storm came on shore was 270 miles from where I am standing right now. This is Atlanta. It's in North Georgia, the state above Florida. That shows how widespread, fast-moving, and strong Helene actually was. This is an apartment complex, this car completely underwater. There's a couple of them that are underwater all the way up to the rooftop, but there are lots of people who are in these apartments back here.
Donald Trump has repeated his claim that Ukraine's war with Russia would be resolved very quickly if he were back in the White House. After meeting President Zelensky, Mr. Trump said he had a good relationship with the Ukrainian leader as well as with President Putin. Mr. Zelensky said he hoped US backing for Ukraine would remain strong, and he said Mr. Putin must be pressured to end the war.
This war shouldn't be started, and I think that the problem that Putin killed so many people, and of course we need to do everything to pressure him to stop this war, and he's on our territory. That is the most important to understand. He's on our territory.
World News from the BBC. Parliament in Tunisia has passed a law stripping a top court of its power to rule on electoral disputes. The restriction on the administrative court comes 9 days before Tunisia's presidential election, which is expected to keep President Kais Saied in power. Protesters outside Parliament carried placards saying rigged election and assassination of democracy. The mayor of New York, Eric Adams, has pleaded not guilty to federal charges of accepting bribes and illegal campaign contributions from Turkish citizens. A judge said she would release him on a bond on condition he avoided contact with witnesses or people named in the indictment. Mayor Adams has vowed to hold on to his job and clear his name. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, said his client was not guilty.
The entire body of evidence is one staffer that says there was a conversation. What you have not learned is that that staffer has lied, and the government is in possession of that lie. When that staffer was first interviewed, that staffer said that Mayor Adams knew nothing about this, he was not involved in this, and that he is innocent.
The Brazilian government has set up a working group that will propose emergency measures to restrict the use of social benefit payments on online gambling. There's been outrage since the central bank published a report showing that the poorest in Brazil spend 20% of their monthly benefits betting online. The award-winning British actress Dame Maggie Smith has died. She was 89. She won Best Actress Oscar for the title role in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Later audiences knew her as Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter films and as the Dowager Countess of Grantham in the period drama Downton Abbey. BBC News.